What's up, you guys? Welcome to Rocco Bernardo Coaching, where we talk about all things fitness, nutrition, and weight loss. For those of you that don't know, I recently lost 30 pounds in just 16 weeks without giving up the foods I love and without giving up my social life. And my goal is to help you do the same. So, this is my highly requested video, Food Choices, Eating for Weight Loss. Now, this is what that 30-pound difference actually looks like. I have since added 10 pounds of muscle back on using this method, which is awesome. And so I'm really excited to go over some of my favorite foods or food substitutions that I've used that hopefully you can implement today to start getting your diet together and to start achieving these awesome results. Now, to dive into a few big picture things before we get into the smaller nitty gritty stuff that is our food choices, I do teach overall that calorie counting is the best way to lose weight. You can eat any food that you want to without compromising your goals as long as you're counting calories. However, this video is almost a prerequisite for that because as we limit our calories, we get hungry. We need to figure out how to counteract that, how to be as effective as possible with the foods that we eat, with the choices that we're making. So understanding this can go a long way towards helping you lose weight and stay consistent with your diet. Now, high protein, pretty much always the goal. So it helps you stay full longer, which increases the likelihood that you continue with your diet, while it also makes sure that the weight you're losing is specifically fat stores and not your muscle. So we do prioritize high protein in my coaching, and you should as well if you're doing this on your own. Now, these are also guidelines and not rules. I have eaten brownies covered in ice cream. I drank beer. I did eat pizza. Like there were no rules that I set for myself that restricted any one food. This is not carnivore diet. This is not vegan. This is simply intentionally eating, picking foods that you enjoy and foods that will fill you up and foods that will get you to your goals. So life is messy and weight loss is hard. Make good decisions consistently most of the time, and you'll be successful with this. Now, the other part of this is we're going for long-term results. So this is about creating lasting change. There are no shortcuts to weight loss. You have to do the right things consistently, and this video should be a huge help with that. I tried to pack it with a ton of value for you. Now, to start off, breakfast, first meal of the day. I did not regularly eat breakfast until I started trying to lose weight. So the goal for breakfast, it should be high protein. It should be highly nutritious. It sets the tone and the mindset for the day, and it's supposed to get you to lunch with minimal cravings. So if you wake up, you smash a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, for example, you will be hungry, you will be craving sugar, and you're already screwed up your diet for the day. So by the time, you get to the office and there's somebody brought in donuts or cookies, or you get to lunch and your salad's just not looking as good, by starting with breakfast that is high protein and highly nutritious, we can start our day feeling good and just on track to succeed for the day. So breakfast ideas, because I understand that not everybody is a morning person, and so there are a few different categories of breakfast for the few different categories of people that we have. So if you are scrambling out the door, you're running late for work every day, then you want the grab and go type breakfast. So for that, just a protein shake made with milk or water and a fruit, a banana, an apple, something that you can literally grab, run out the door with you, and throw it together in 30 seconds, drink it in the car, eat the banana in the car on your way to work. Great option. If you have about 5 minutes, you could sit down or just get it together. And Greek yogurt and berries is a really good one. It's a high protein yogurt, tastes really good. The berries sweeten it up a little bit, and there's fruit again. So I like pairing protein and carbs because as you digest the carbs and your body is taking those in, it makes your body more receptive to the protein as well. So I almost always try to have a source of carbs with my protein. And so for breakfast, just the vitamins and minerals in fruit, I think are unbeatable. And so starting off with protein, vitamins, and minerals is crucial to a good nutritious start, high energy to start your day. And so I do recommend that. If you have a little bit more time, you can add like peanut butter toast, avocado toast, butter on toast, whatever you want. Just a little bit of a carb boost, throw some fat in there at that point. and again, just help you start your day, stay full until lunch. If you are a morning person or just someone who prioritizes breakfast, you can do eggs with toast, sausage, maybe a fruit, just kind of depends on where you want your calories to be, because the sausage in particular is high calories, high fat. So it'll help you stay full until lunch, but it might not be the best place for those extra calories. But eggs is always a good option. Toast with peanut butter or avocado is always a good option. Again, adding fruit on that, it makes for the most nutritious and filling breakfast out of those four, but any of these are going to be good. Now, which do I prefer? Technically, my answer is whichever one works for you, whichever one you can do consistently or even inconsistently. If you normally cook and then have a day where you need to grab a protein shake and a banana, that's fine. Whichever one works for you. Personally, I do eggs with nutritional yeast, which is a source of all the vitamin Bs for energy and immune system. I throw spinach on there so that way I don't have to eat vegetables with dinner if I eat them in my eggs in the morning. I do love avocado toast, just a good fat source, good healthy fat source in the beginning of my day. And I normally do orange juice because it's quick, it's easy. That meal is pretty filling. And so trying to choke down a fruit with more fiber in it is just not as easy as drinking orange juice. And so that's my preferred way of having breakfast. Down here, there's 4 pictures. I don't know why this third one won't load, but just different breakfasts. I just kind of mix and match with whatever I have on hand. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of flexible with breakfast, but it's always eggs, it's always nutritional yeast, and then the rest of it kind of ebbs and flows based on what I have and what I'm feeling. Now, for breakfast ideas, I'm not going to go into specifics with these, but you guys can pause it and look at them if you want to. If you're going to eat yogurt, prioritize Greek yogurt. This Oikos Triple Zero is awesome because it's low carb, zero fat, and high protein. As you can see here, I only evaluate the green and the red based on calories and protein, because while fats also help keep you full, it adds unnecessary steps and it adds complications to calorie counting to worry about the carbs and the fats quite as much. However, if you are getting low calorie and you're getting high protein, you're going to be good. It's just kind of a good general rule of thumb to follow with most of these foods. And then there are other foods you can eat specifically for their fat source to get the minimum that you want. And carbs just kind of fill in pretty easily after that. But your carbs and your fat don't really matter towards weight loss. That's a separate video, much more complicated scientific video that I would love to make sometime. But in the meantime, low calorie, high protein, it will keep you full, it will keep you from losing muscle, and it will increase your compliance with your diet. Magic Spoon cereal, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I'm a huge fan of that. I actually haven't had the cinnamon toast, but I did buy it the other day. And you just compare that to a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, where there's significantly less calories and significantly more protein. And so I actually eat a double portion of Magic Spoon. So for me, that's like after adding milk, it's a 30-gram protein breakfast for pretty minimal calories, way, way better than any normal brand of cereal. So over here for the bread options, same thing. One thing to keep in mind is serving weight or serving size. So even though this bread looks like it's higher calorie, it's actually less calorie because you will be way more full off of this bread here on the left than you will be off the bread on the right. And I can eat 6 pieces of this Nature's Own honey wheat bread, no problem. But honestly, after two pieces of this Dave's Killer bread is almost too much. And so it does fill you up faster. It's a higher fiber bread. It's better for you overall. And so even though it looks like it's lower calorie or higher calorie, it's actually not, because you're probably eating at least 2 pieces of this Nature's Own. If you do want to just eat 1 piece of this one, that's perfectly fine. But if I were to do that, I'd probably actually just eat a half piece of this whole grain bread, because that's going to fill me up more than 1 piece of this honey wheat. Now, for lunch, again, the goal is always going to be high protein for all of our meals. If you don't hit 30 grams of protein in a meal, it wasn't a meal. It was a snack. That's my guideline. 30 grams minimum. And we also want it to be highly nutritious. So my lunch is the largest meal of the day. The goal of lunch is to get me to dinner with minimal cravings, and it's my higher carb meal to give me energy for the gym, because most likely I'm going to the gym between lunch and dinner, and this is going to give me most of my carbs for the day, most of my energy, so that my lift is as effective as possible. And again, highly nutritious, and you'll see that on the next slide. So I do a lean protein for lunch. So once I discovered the beauty of chicken breast, 40 or 150 grams of chicken breast is 250 calories, 46 grams of protein, 5 grams of fats. That is an awesome protein source. So I eat that for lunch. I combine it with carbs. So when I was cutting or losing weight, I shot for about 45 to 50 grams of carbs for lunch. So you can do that with rice, sweet potato. I like those mini gold potatoes, but rice is the least amount of work. And then to add in some fat, I throw a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on top of my rice. It's good for cholesterol. It's 14 grams of fat, and it just makes sure that my body is able to regulate the hormones that it needs to have an effective lift and recovery. And it's super easy to throw on the rice. It absorbs it pretty well, so you can eat that. And then I do a random frozen vegetable. I just do a half bag of like a freezer bag. So I just throw in the microwave the bag, and to thaw it, and then I just split it up into 2 containers. And I did actually shoot a meal prep video that you can watch. I'll put the link at the end of this one, so you can watch that if you're curious how I do it. But vegetables are lower calories, they're high fiber, good nutrients, so they keep you full. Again, at this point, I'm getting most of my vitamins, minerals, and energy for the day by the time lunch hits. And you can see this red sauce, this Frank's Red hot sauce, because I throw that on my chicken and it makes it pretty tasty. And it's a 0-calorie sauce that allows me to just add some moisture and flavor to a relatively bland meal. Now, lunch time savers. So if you're like, all right, I need something quick and easy, I don't want to meal prep, Rocco, what should I do? So first of all, your fruit choice. So pears, apples, oranges, something that's easy to throw in a bag and that you don't have to worry about like measuring out berries and stuff. Mashed potatoes, pre-made, are a great option. Aldi has some, Walmart has some, and you can just pull out your portion, weigh it, and have that ready the night before. These meat options are great. So Aldi has these, and the first time I lost weight when I was working as a nurse in the hospital, I would pack these. Now these burritos up here, Aldi sells them, Walmart sells some, Sam's Club sells some, but it's a decent protein source, and I eat 2 of those. I think it's about 30 grams of protein for 600 calories. So it's not super great, but it is better than nothing if you just need something that's going to get you through to your next meal. These rice packets come in super handy when I run out of time to meal prep. And so grabbing these just out of my pantry is a super effective way to get the carbs that I need. It takes 90 seconds to heat that up. And you can always do salads, throw some chicken over it, throw some olive oil over it, and then you have a pretty good filling meal. You'd still need carbs if you did it that way, but having a salad in your lunch is a great option. Now, dinner, my goal is high protein. It is a smaller meal to end the day, and I do it post-workout for protein and carbs, and it fills the holes in my day's nutrition. So my dinner is really not as fancy as my lunch. It's pretty basic, and it's not as fancy as my breakfast either. Those are very intentional, and dinner is just kind of what's left, something enjoyable. So I do put a fatty protein in with my dinner. So 4 times a week, I do 93% lean beef. So it's good protein. It has some saturated fats, which again, we want some fat in our diet so our body can make those hormones that it needs and can function optimally. And 2 times a week, I do salmon. So again, good protein, and salmon has the really good omega-3 fatty acids. Again, good for your cholesterol, good for your just body processes. And I put a note here, saturated fat is not our enemy, but it can lead to increased low-density lipoprotein, which is our bad cholesterol, and it can cause major health problems. So that's why I do 93%. I don't do 80 or 85. I like the leaner beef, but we're still allowed to get some of that fat in our diet. I know carnivore raves about the need for saturated fat. They overemphasize it for sure. And most of them, when they post their LDLs are skyrocketed to the moon, and it's so bad for them. And they're going to be at an increased risk for heart disease, for strokes, for anything like that. Saturated fat is not the enemy. It's also not the greatest thing on the planet, okay? So just keep that in mind. Do a lean meat. You can have some of the fat. It's fine. just watch your overall calories and protein, and everything else will kind of take care of itself. So for carbs, I do pasta with either Alfredo or red sauce. It just kind of depends. I mix it up. No vegetable, do what you want. I eat vegetables 2 times. I like fruit. It also adds a little bit more carbs and, again, just more vitamins and minerals. I like fruit more than I like vegetables, so I do that with dinner. Just probably varies at this point. Just kind of depends. I mix up my fruit a lot. Dinner time savers. So you can do basically anything that I posted for the lunch part of this video, you can do for dinner. Again, I have my meals set up this way, so that's what I'm showing you, but you can do whatever you want to. This pre-made mac and cheese from Aldi is really good. I used to do the same thing. Instead of mashed potatoes, I would mix that up. So it wouldn't hurt to have one of those on hand in case you run into a emergency quick dinner needed situation. You can do frozen salmon, frozen burgers, frozen meatballs. Again, if you have some good options in your freezer and then you cook regularly, you won't have to default to those until you run out. So if you're like, oh, frozen stuff isn't good, well, then eat mostly good stuff. But when you're going to be low on time and running out of options, what do you default to? Have good options in your cabinet or in your freezer. That's how I got these salmon packets that I have. And so whenever I'm in a hurry, I'll grab a rice packet and a salmon packet, and that's a good meal. I think it's like 30 grams of protein, about 90 grams of carbs, and it's a good meal for me. A little bit of fat. I don't remember the numbers. And so that's what I have in reserves for when time is tight. So you do you, figure out those things, but here are some ideas. And tuna, same thing as salmon, but I just like salmon better. Now, snacks. So the point of snacks is to meet calorie goals and to resist temptations throughout the day. So snacks can increase our satiety, or that feeling of fullness in our stomach. It can increase the likelihood that you succeed by making us less hungry, and it fills the holes in your day's nutrition. So I did a couple of eat this, not that. This popcorn in particular, but popcorn is a great snack because it's high in fiber, and you can eat 3 cups of popcorn for less calories than 21 Cheetos. So it is a great munchy food that can take you a while to get through, adds fiber to your diet, and fills you up. If you want chips, go and get some Quest chips to have on hand. You can get them from Amazon, you can get them from Walmart or like a supplement store, but for roughly the same calories as a serving of regular chips, you get 19 grams of protein instead of 2 grams of protein. That is incredible. So if you're going out with friends and there's going to be chips, bring one of these and you can snack on chips with all of your friends, but you're eating 19 grams of protein while you do it. Or if you want something to munch on while watching a movie and you don't want to do the popcorn, you're just craving a bag of chips, these Quest chips, they hit the spot, they give you protein, they are awesome. Ice cream. I love ice cream. I've eaten ice cream most nights since deciding that I was going to start to lose weight. I actually eat ice cream more now than I ever did before when I was fat. And I don't really know how that makes sense, but it does. This Halo Top is 360 calories for an entire pint. I make it last 2 servings, so it's about 180 calories for half a pint, which is plenty ice cream. And Ben & Jerry's is probably the worst option, which is why I put it up here because it's so good though. But it's 1,100 calories for a whole pint. So finding a low-calorie ice cream, so worth it because you can eat that every day and still be losing weight, where it's really hard to fit Ben & Jerry's into a weight loss diet. Just another example, these are for the dry mix, so they're really not that good for you because it is a baked good, but this Kodiak brand is awesome because they have higher protein. So even though you're eating a baked good, a pastry, whatever it is a little bit lower calorie than your other brands, and it is higher protein. So something to keep in mind, help be a little helpful. I don't bake stuff a whole lot, but it's a good option if you like to do that and you like fresh breads or baked products. Alcohol, like I said, I drank while losing weight. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You can. I played on a softball team. We drank every Monday after our games, and I worked at a brewery while I was losing this weight. So I didn't drink at the brewery that often, but you can do beer, you can drink. When I would go out with friends, I would drink this Truly lemonades or White Claws or whatever seltzer they had at the bar, because those are only 100 calories. And sometimes I would have a beer, but not often because it just wasn't worth it. And if it is to you, then great, have that beer. But for me, I could drink a Truly lemonade, be drinking with my friends, social aspect is there, and have the same overall experience of my night for less calories, for half the calories. So seltzers are a great way to stay involved in social situations. You don't have to. I also have been to plenty of places where I chose not to drink, even a seltzer, because it just wasn't worth the calories for me that day. And again, do whatever you want to. But anybody who says you can't lose weight while drinking, that's not true. It's calories in, calories out. It's math. Stick with the seltzer. It helps. It helps the math. Coke Zero, talk about it 100 times. If you love Coke, I have one friend who was talking about this. He's like, dude, I will never drink anything but regular Coke. If you love it that much, that's fine. Just know that it's 140 calories for a can, where you could drink a Coke Zero for 0 calories. But it is up to you. Like I said, you can eat or drink whatever you want to. You just have to stay under your calories. Other snack ideas. I tried to rack my brain for things I ate when I was losing weight, because now I'm trying to gain weight and put on muscle pretty intentionally. So I don't go for low calorie stuff anymore, because it usually is actually harmful towards my goal. I just have to eat so much more. Beef jerky, straight protein, killer. These lemon tart Oikos, like to-go yogurts, best flavor. Walmart always sells out of them, because I think whenever they're in stock, people do what I do, which is buy as many as they can. But these are awesome, super easy to throw in a lunch. Lara bars, just a granola bar made with real ingredients, so it's a good snack food. It's made with fruit and nuts, and they have different flavors. They're all moderately okay. Like it's a fruit and nut bar. Like, I think it tastes good. It's not as good as the cookies and cream bar you're going to get from fake ingredients and fake flavoring, but it is perfectly fine. And I have those pretty regularly now. These pop chips are low calorie bag of chips that I got from Sam's Club when I was losing weight. They're not fried, so that helps those become a little bit healthier. Met RX bars, 30 grams of protein, very high calories. It's essentially a meal replacement bar. But if you have a couple of those and you have a day where you need to be out and about and you don't want to pack a lunchbox or don't have time, grabbing one of those could be the answer. These bear things, their only ingredient is fruit. And I think the coconut one has salt and fruit. And so these are awesome, just like dehydrated fruit, basically. I really enjoyed eating those, and it's just another way to get some fruit into your diet. These Core Powers are awesome. It's essentially a protein drink, but you can find them anywhere. So if you're ever out and you need to snack, go to a gas station, grab a Core Power and some beef jerky, and you have a probably 50 grams of protein for $5, $6, and for like 300 calories, depending. So it's really, those two are awesome to go snacks that you can take with you or grab wherever you're at. Bubbly, I've talked about it before, just seltzer waters to fill your stomach with air and bubbles. Giving yourself that feeling of fullness is going to be great, super helpful. And Baby Bell, they have light cheese. It's a good one if you like cheese and want to take it with you. The lower fat's a little bit low calories, so it's not the fat that's bad for you, but if you want to be able to stretch those calories, removing some of it is a good option. So there's more. Play around, do whatever you want to. Again, this is not a restrictive diet style. You can eat whatever foods you want to, but some of them are better, and that's the point of making this video. So what's next? From here, I'd say you have two options. Either go through, watch my other videos. If you liked what I had to say about lunch and dinner in particular, go watch my meal prep video where I tried to basically, it takes a couple hours. So I tried to eliminate and distill 2.5 hours of cooking down into a 30-minute video. I hope I did a good job, but go watch that if you want to learn how I meal prep and prepare 7 days of food in one go. And I know if 2.5 hours sounds scary, I get it, but it is very worth it, at least for me and for my very active lifestyle. And then if you're watching this and you're like, dude, I would love to get some help with this, I do offer coaching. So I am a weight loss coach. I would love to help you. If you're watching this and you're interested and want to meet with me and find out more about my program and what it looks like, please, I will include the Calendly link. I would love to meet you and to work with you and to help you hit these goals as soon as possible, as quickly as possible. So again, click the link to the video if you want to learn how to meal prep. Click the link to my Calendly if you want to meet with me and talk about coaching and see what that looks like. But I'm so glad you watched this video. I hope it was filled with tons of value for you, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon.